Prabhu asked me to fill in for him, so please,
empowered you.
please forgive if you were expecting him. I'll try to do my best with your blessings. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Nam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Shrimati Radhana Swami Namane Nam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Shrimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravana Pacharine Nirvishesha Shunyavad Kasate Deshatarine Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srimad Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare. So today we have a very long purport. Actually, we have three purports, and the first one is very long. So I'm going to try to read through it and speak through it. So otherwise, we'll just read it, and then everybody will be completely asleep. So trying to at least get you a little bit beyond, the purport. That would be good. So before I begin, I would like to request the blessings of all the assembled Vaishnavas, especially the senior most devotees like Adipurush Prabhu and Arjuna Prabhu, that you bless me, that I may speak something which is in line with our Guru Parampara, which is purifying to our hearts, and that our hearts become fertile ground for the sublime message to take root on. So today we are speaking on the Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, 7th chapter, texts 13 through 17. Those were the verses that I was given, and let me share with you so that you can see. So we'll just go straight into the translation, because as you can see, it's like 3 of them. So translation. When Brahmanas are free from envy, untruthfulness, unnecessary pride, grudges, disturbance by the opulence of others, and false prestige, their blessings never go in vain. Considering this, Nanda Maharaj soberly took Krishna on his lap and invited such truthful Brahmanas to perform a ritualistic ceremony according to the holy hymns of the Samaveda, Rig Veda, and Yajur Veda. Then, while the hymns were being chanted, he bathed the child with water mixed with pure herbs, and after performing a fire ceremony, he sumptuously fed all of the Brahmanas with first-class grains and other food. Purport. Nanda Maharaj was very confident about the qualifications of the Brahmanas and their blessings. He was fully confident that simply if the good Brahmanas showered their blessings, the child Krishna would be happy. The blessings of qualified Brahmanas can bring happiness not only to Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but to everyone, because Krishna is self-sufficient. He does not require anyone's blessings. Yet Nanda Maharaj thought that Krishna required the blessings of the Brahmana. When this is said, what then is to be said of others? In human society, therefore, there must be an ideal class of men, Brahmanas, who can bestow blessings upon others, namely upon Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Shudras, so that everyone will be happy. Krishna therefore says in Bhagavad Gita that human society must have 4 social orders. Chatur Varna Mayashishta Gunakarma Vibhagashaha. It is not that everyone should become a Shudra or a Vaishya and human society will prosper. As enunciated in Bhagavad Gita, there must be a class of Brahmanas with qualities like Satya, truthfulness, Shama, peacefulness, Dhamma, self-control, and Titiksha, tolerance. So let's just take that little chunk in here and talk about this. So right now, this is towards the end. Well, it's talking about Krishna and the way that his father is trying to deal with him, to bless him, to give him the best. So generally, all parents are very the quality of the parents is that they're always in anxiety about their children, or what will happen with my child, trying to keep the child safe, happy, in all possible ways, and especially little children get into a lot of trouble. So there's so many times that they have to take them to the hospital. They have to, like they get in fights. The parents are in constant anxiety, and even when they grow up, it just it becomes even worse because now they're out of their control. So this is the constant anxiety of parents. How to have my children in such a way. And Nanda Maharaj is like this with Krishna. Nanda Maharaj and Mother Yashoda are in constant anxiety about Krishna. So if you're in a parental mood for Krishna, that's how you're going to be, in constant anxiety for them. And the way that he is trying to avert all of the dangers that will come upon his beautiful child Krishna, Nanda Maharaj is bringing in these Brahmanas that are said here to be, that their blessings will bring all happiness and all prosperity to his child. So Prabhupada here begins saying that Nanda Maharaj was very confident about the qualifications of the Brahmanas and their blessings. So, and Prabhupada here says that this in human society, there must be an ideal class of men, Brahmanas, who can bestow blessings upon others, namely upon the Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Shudras, so that everyone will be happy. So this is something that we have definitely lost. This has definitely been lost in time. Who can we go to right now, to give blessings so that things will prosper? Generally, people go like, oh yeah, like I hope things are okay for you. But they cannot bless us, when somebody curses us, especially like in New York, that when you go out in the street and you'll get cursed all the time. Who cares about those curses? There's no potency in that. When somebody wants to give us blessings, generally it's like, okay, well, thank you very much, but can you give me something more than that? Something tangible, because there is no power behind the words anymore. And where does this power come from? It comes from these austerities of being free from envy, untruthfulness, unnecessary pride, grudges, disturbance by the opulence of others, and false prestige. So yeah, like these are very rare people. But such people can actually give blessings, and their blessings will not go in vain. And Prabhupada here is saying that that there must be these type of people. There must be these, so that because it is an important part of society. The material world is full of dangers. There's danger at every step, right? And we need help. And if we know where to turn for help, then we will avert all of these things. The problem is that we generally don't know where to go for help. Where do we go when there's problems? Well, if you're pious, you go to Krishna, right? You will go to church, you will go like that. But if you're not, when they're help, when you need help, people will turn to, if they don't have that, and they have tried everything else, they will turn to things like uh, drugs. They will turn to things like violence. They will turn to things like alcohol, because they need to escape. They now need to escape. Things are out of control, out of their control, and they don't know what to do. Now, if there is an ideal class of men, they will give. They're the way by which you can understand that there is something bigger than yourself, something where you can go to for shelter, real shelter, right? And it's these Brahmanas who are not just powerful because they have, these mystic powers, but they are powerful because they can connect you to Krishna. That is the importance of this. Not simply that oh, okay, I got the blessings here, but is that not only will they give the blessings, but they are connected to Krishna, and therefore, when you're taking shelter of them, you understand that where's their power coming from? What are they connecting to? And in that way, then your life starts being connected with Krishna. You're turning to Krishna, through them. And Prabhupada says here that therefore that there must be these four social orders. That Krishna has created these four orders for so that society will function. Now, generally, if you're a Vaishya, if you value money, if you value wealth, who do you look up to? You look up to the Vaishyas, the ones who have made it. They got the money. But what are the Brahmanas doing? Oh, they're useless because they don't make money. If you value power, you look at the Kshatriyas. Oh yeah, they have power. But what are these useless Brahmanas doing? They have no power. So unless there's Brahmanas that actually have the power to bless, then people will look at them as useless members of society. Generally, a person that generally these Brahmanas are also giving something that is in independent thinking to society. They will tell things as they are. Now, imagine that you have no independent thinkers in society. What will happen? It's what's happening right now, pretty much. Chaos, absolute chaos. Generally, managers, they don't like independent thinkers because people are easy to control when they're not independent. So they try to take them, to the side. They try to not have them. But very smart managers will actually use the help of independent thinkers to be able to guide people in the proper way. Imagine for a second that we actually had these, really good independent thinkers in society, and that they were actually informing the decisions of the managers. Would we be in a position of global warming? Right now, we're experiencing like terrible the terrible effects of the global warming. And what does this all come down to? Is like, oh yeah, well, the scientists have been very clear about global warming, why it's happening, and that. But when it starts getting mixed with politics and all that, then you don't have independent thinking anymore. Then you will have some scientists saying this, some other people saying that, and then there's confusion. Imagine that you had independent thinkers when talking about like the pandemic. Now, whether you're in one side or the other side, I don't care, but there would have not been this division of people that are let's take the vaccine shots, let's not take the vaccine shots. There would have been independent thinkers that say, like, this is what these vaccines do, and like that, and this should be the what's done, and then that's it. There's no politics involved in it, where people are segregating into, like, I'm going to this camp or that camp, because there's people who will actually tell the truth about what's going on. So we have to have independent thinkers, and these independent thinkers are not just because they think a lot, but because they are able to speak without any attachments. There's nothing that controls them. They have no other alternative. Like, for example, Narada Muni. Narada Muni is one of those independent thinkers. Is one of those Brahmanas. What does he do? He travels all around the world, all around the universe, and he is loved by all sorts of people, including the demigods and even the demons. Even the demons like him, because he will say things as they are. And even the demons think, like, well, he's not with, he's impartial. Well, he actually is with he favors Vishnu and the devotees, but when he's with the demons, he doesn't push agendas. So that's why the demons like him. So these qualities of truthfulness, peacefulness, self-control, and tolerance are important. There's actually a long list of things that, according to Bhagavad Gita, 1842, these are the qualities of the Brahmanas. Shamo Dhammas Tapak Saucham Shantir Arjvam Evacha Jnanam Vijnanam Astikyam Brahma Karma Svabhavajam. Peacefulness, self-control, austerity, purity, tolerance, honesty, knowledge, wisdom, and religiousness. These are the natural qualities by which Brahmanas work. This, if you want to be an independent thinker, this is how you have to be. Maybe I should be a Shudra. Let somebody else be the Brahmana. No, these are also these are also things that we have to cultivate ourselves. It's important to be pure, tolerant, honest, because these are qualities that will get us into the mode of goodness, by which we can understand truth. We are able to understand truth because to the degree that we have these different things. Otherwise, what happens? You hear something from Bhagavatam, and then there's a filter. There's a big filter, isn't it? It's like, well, one thing is you just don't hear it. Goes in one way and it goes out the other. The filter was perfect. It just went right through you. The other one is that it actually stayed, but you didn't like it. It's like, so then you try to turn it around a little bit. It's like, well, what they really meant was, and then you twist it around like that. Or otherwise, you go like, I don't believe that. I just don't believe that. So you put that aside, and and you don't take that into account. Or if the filter is even worse, then you go like, what, none of this works. You throw the baby with the bathwater and the tub and everything. You just like this whole Christian consciousness is just absurd. I'm not doing any of this. Or if the filter is even greater like that, God doesn't exist. None of this exists. So to the degree that we have these different things, we will be able to hear the message, and we'll be able to apply it. It's going to actually come in and change the heart. So we want to cultivate these different qualities. Now let's go on a little bit here, because it's a long purport. So here also in the Bhagavatam, Nanda Maharaj invites qualified Brahmanas. There may be caste Brahmanas, and we have all respect for them, but their birth in Brahmana families does not mean that they are qualified to bestow blessings upon other members of human society. This is the verdict of the Shastras. In Kali Yuga, caste Brahmanas are accepted as Brahmanas. Vipratve sutram evahi. In Kali Yuga, simply by putting on a thread worth 2 paisa, one becomes a Brahmana. Such Brahmanas are not called for by Nanda Maharaj, as stated by Narada Muni. Yasya yal lakshanam proktam. The symptoms of a Brahmana are stated in Shastra, and one must be qualified with these symptoms. So that's the other thing that is going on. You have cheating Brahmanas, right? So right now I'm studying medical physics, and there's a term that is used, like medical physics has to deal with medical equipment testing for things like radiography and radiation oncology. Basically, all of your CTs, CAT scans, the PET images, the MRIs, everything when you have cancer and they're going to do radiotherapy. All of these machines, they have to be clinically tested. But who can test it? There's always this important thing that is called qualified medical physicists. And they put it like that. It's the QMP, qualified medical physicist. And what is that qualification? Well, you have to have gone to through a program, a university program that is qualified by the CAMPIP association. So it has to be that program has to be qualified, not just go to any place. And then you have to do certain residencies in a CAMPIP accredited place, and you have to have board certification. You have to have passed certain exams. Anyway, qualified is a heavy word there, right? So likewise, you need QBs, qualified Brahmanas. You need these it's not just that, oh yeah, imagine that somebody comes and says like, yeah, I'm going to come and test this equipment. And who are you? Oh, well, my dad was a QMP, a qualified medical physicist. Okay, did you go to school? No, but he was. Sorry, you can't test this. We can't put the lives of so many people at risk because you do not have the qualifications. But I was born. He's my father. It's not by birth. This is not by birth. You have to have the qualifications to be able to do this job. Otherwise, go take a hike. In the Brahmanas right now, they're calling themselves Brahmanas because they were born in Brahmana families. Those are the caste Brahmanas. So what is the qualification? Having a a thread, having this this sacred thread, that's not a qualification. You have to have these things that we just talked about, like truthfulness, peacefulness, self-control, tolerance, all of these things. Those are the qualifications, and you have to work for them. If you're in a family of doctors, for example, generally what is expected? You'll be a doctor. If you're in a family of military people, what is expected? You'll be in the military. But it's not the case that just because you were born in these places, you have that. So it's important that we see that the Brahmanas have to have these qualifications in order to call themselves Brahmanas. The blessing, continuing here, the blessings of Brahmanas who are not envious, disturbed, or puffed up with pride and false prestige, and who are fully qualified with truthfulness will be useful. Here's an important thing. Prabhupada is saying, they will be useful. Therefore, a class of men must be trained as Brahmanas from the very beginning. Brahmachari gurukule basan danta guror hitam. The word danta is very important. Danta refers to one who is not envious, disturbing, or puffed up with false prestige. With the Krishna consciousness movement, we are trying to introduce such Brahmanas in society. Brahmanas must ultimately be Vaishnavas. And if one is a Vaishnava, he has already acquired the qualifications of a Brahmana. Brahma Bhuta Prasanatma. The word Brahma Bhuta refers to becoming a Brahmana or understanding what is a Brahman. Brahma Janiti Janatiti Brahmana. One who is a Brahma Bhuta is always happy, Prasanatma. Nasochati Nakangshati. He is never disturbed about material necessities. Sarma Sarveshu Bhuteshu. He is ready to bestow blessings upon everyone equally. Mad Bhaktim Labate Param. When he becomes a Vaishnava, then he becomes a Vaishnava. Okay, so sometimes we like to get puffed up as devotees. Sometimes. And we go like, oh, okay, so we're Vaishnavas, therefore we're already Brahmanas. We have the two paisa thread. We're qualified because we're Vaishnavas. Well, Prabhupada is explaining here what does it mean to be a Vaishnava in this context. If you ask what is Vaishnava, it goes from, well, he follows Vishnu, his deity is Vishnu, right? To well, he has certain qualifications, and these are the qualifications that are being given here. It's not that you're just a Vaishnava because you put on a tilak, or because because you're chanting, certain mantras to Vishnu. It says here to be a Vaishnava. It says then he becomes a Vaishnava. First of all, Brahmabhuta, you're always happy. Are you always happy? Always? Not just like, okay, when Prasad came out, but like always. Nasojati nakangshati, never disturbed about material necessities. Oh, that's a big one. Never disturbed by material necessities. And then, ready to bestow blessings upon everyone equally. If somebody does something horrible to you, like, puts their clothes in the washer and dryer before you do, like you've been waiting, and somebody, finally, and you come and this person just like cut into you like that and put. Are you ready to bestow blessings upon this person at that moment in time? So, then Mad Bhaktim Lavate Param, then he becomes a Vaishnava. So it's not so easy actually being a Vaishnava. And therefore, it's not so easy being a Brahmana. But this is what Prabhupada is saying, that that he's trying to introduce such Brahmanas in society by this training. So, there are some devotees right now at the Bhakti Center who are Brahmachari Gurukule Vasan, who are living in the Gurukula, Gurur Hitam, that are trying to do everything for the pleasure of Guru, and danta, and they're trying to be non-envious. They're trying to be not puffed up or have false prestige. So that is good. And if you're not there, well, if you're a grihasta and you're living outside, then same thing. We're trying to develop all of these things. Continuing on here, it says, in this age, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur introduced a sacred thread ceremony for his Vaishnava disciples, with the idea that people should understand that when one becomes a Vaishnava, he has already acquired the qualifications of a Brahmana. So strive to be a Vaishnava. Therefore, in this International Society for Krishna Consciousness, those who are twice initiated, so as to become Brahmanas, must bear in mind their great responsibility to be truthful, control the mind and senses, be tolerant, and so on. Then their life will be successful. It was such Brahmanas that Nanda Maharaj invited to chant the Vedic hymns, not ordinary Brahmanas. Verse 13 distinctly mentions himsa mana. The word mana refers to false prestige or false pride. Those who were falsely proud, thinking that they were Brahmanas because they were born in Brahmana families, were never invited by Nanda Maharaj on such occasions. So something important to bear in mind in here is that even when you receive second initiation, it's not like, woohoo, I made it. I'm a Brahmana. No, you're given the opportunity to become a Brahmana now. That's what it means. Second initiation means you're in the initial stages of a Brahmana. Not that you are a Brahmana. I see that Evan Prabhu raised a question. Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah, you're making a very good point that the people look for the Brahmins for blessings, and that the Brahmins have a pivotal role and influence in the society in a powerful way, and they have certain qualifications, and that the spiritual master is expressing some confidence that they will be able to function and perform that Brahminical activity. He's not making them a Brahmin, but he's asking them to come to that level. So what are the activities of the Brahmin? You're talking about the qualities of the Brahmin, but scripture also describes what does a Brahmin do? How does he influence others? How does he, like you say, bring them in contact with Krishna?
Mm-hmm. There are six activities. There are six activities that are done. So they're here. They're one is studying the Vedas. One is studying the Vedas and teaching the Vedas.
Yeah, those are the first.
Worshipping the deity and teaching others how to worship the deity. Giving in charity and receiving. Giving in charity and receiving charity. And here we see that in Srimad Bhagavatam 7:11-14 that Prabhupada in the purport says that Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explains the position of the Brahmanas and Kshatriyas and says that the Brahmanas have 6 occupational duties, of which 3 are compulsory. 3 are compulsory for them. 1 is studying the Vedas, 2 is worshiping the deity, and 3 is giving charity. So those are the 3 that are compulsory. The other 3 may or may not be done, but these are 3 that they definitely have to do. So there are activities that go along with those qualities.
Yeah, interestingly enough, Prabhupada is explaining that not only do they accept charity, but they actually approach people. They inspire them, they encourage them, they direct them, and they ask them to give a donation. That's a very interesting contribution. If the Brahmins are doing that role, then the Kshatriyas and the Vaishyas, everyone falls into place and everyone is benefiting. And when we ask for a donation, that's when they start to ask questions. If you
Yeah,
just offer books,
definitely, because people want to, they are attached to money. You want to know, like, where is this money going to? So uh you have you have if a Brahmana is truthful, if he has tolerance, if he has all of these qualities, then what's going to happen? If we actually create this sense of trust in people, and we have to create that, because generally people don't have faith in Brahmanas. Where are the Brahmanas? They don't even know what a Brahmana is. So we have to create this sense of trust in people that, yes, this money that you're giving is not going to go to sense gratification, because the Brahmanas are not using it. It says here, like, one of the compulsory things is that they give charity. That means that what goes through them is they maintain themselves with the minimum amount, and then the rest they're going to be putting it into actual important things. So, for example, you see Adipurush Prabhu, he takes donations from people, and what does he do? He doesn't just eat all of that incredible boga that like that. He uses it to spread Krishna consciousness in a major way to a lot of people. He doesn't keep it for himself. He takes just very little for himself, and then, okay, let's distribute it. And it's not just distribute, like in a mundane way, because that also other people do. But a Brahmana, being a Vaishnava, will try to connect people to Krishna through those activities. It's not just that they're being kind to people. Is that they're actually being kind to their souls. They're connecting them to Krishna. So when they're giving in charity, they're also teaching people, the Vedas. You see Adi Prabhu. He has Prabhupada in the background. He has Prabhupada's books right there. He's telling people Hare Krishna, and they're learning the Hare Krishna mantra there. So it's much more than just giving in charity. It's giving in charity with Krishna, and they put that extra special ingredient there. So Brahmanas are important to society, and that's why Prabhupada wanted to introduce them. Now, continuing on here, it says, verse 14 mentions Pavitraushadi. In any ritualistic ceremony, many herbs and leaves were required. These were known as Pavitra Patra. Sometimes there were nimba leaves, sometimes bay leaves, mango leaves, ashwata leaves, or amalaki leaves. Similarly, there were Panchagavya, Panchashasya, and Pancharatna. Although Ananda Maharaj belonged to the Vaishya community, everything was known to him. All of this, our knowledge has been lost. We don't know what to do with all of these leaves. There, they had actual knowledge of what is beneficial. The most important word in these verses is mahagunam, indicating that the Brahmanas were offered very palatable food of exalted quality. Such palatable dishes were generally prepared with two things, namely food grains and milk products. Bhagavad Gita therefore enjoins that human society must give protection to the cows and encourage agriculture. Krishi Goraksham Vanijam Vaishyakarmas Vapajam. Simply by expert cooking, hundreds of thousands of palatable dishes can be prepared from agricultural products and milk products. This is indicated here by the words Annam Mahagunam. Still in India, these two things, namely food grains and milk, hundreds and thousands of varieties of food are prepared, and then they are offered to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So here is important, one of the things that Prabhupada is saying, that the most important word in these verses is that Mahagunam. That when they were these Brahmanas, Nanda Maharaj was giving them charity. he fed them very sumptuously. And given that the time that we have is very, very short, the next verse also talks about, that he didn't just give them like all of this food to satisfy them, but he also gave them cows. He gave them cows that had gold garlands and gold necklaces, and these were cows that would yield a lot of milk. So it was opulent. What he gave was really opulent. So it's not that we just go to the temple and we give the $1 donation. The if at all. That okay. Where's it? There's a joke, and I'm doing this on behalf of Brahma Tirtha Prabhu, who loves jokes. It says that the $1 bill, the $20 bill, and the 100 bill, they got in a fight. They got in an argument because they were trying to figure out who was the most important one. So the $100 bill said, I'm the most important one because I have the greatest denomination. Everybody wants me. Everybody loves me. I was like, okay. Then the $20 bill said, you know what? You may be, like that. But you may be, everybody might want you, but even when they have you, they always try to break you up into 20s because I'm the most useful. I'm the most useful. They may want you, but I'm the most useful. And then the $1 bill said, you guys, get out. I'm the most important one here. I said, why are you? Because I'm the most religious. You will find me in all of the mosques, all of the temples, all of the churches. That's where you'll find me. So, yeah, generally, we don't give really, charity properly. We always give this little bits. Actually, we should be giving as much as we could, as much as we can. If $1 is all you have, then good. But we will spend. How much is going to the movies now? It's something like I don't know, but I like $20 or something like that. And if you buy popcorn and something to drink and and a veggie hot dog, you can easily go to $30-$40 for one person. And if you invite somebody else, because hey, I want to invite my friend like that, then how much is it? But when we go to the temple, we just give $1, if at all. So, we have to think about these things. We have to think okay, how much money am I really spending on these things? Because at the temple, we're trying to really, and we're really trying to give to these people that are dedicating their lives to Krishna. They're maintaining something that is very important for our community, which is the temple and the deities, the worship of the deities. And also all of these amazing projects, like the Food for Life that Adipurush Prabhu is doing, like the Bhaktivedanta Institute, like so many things. These are places where they are trying to give Krishna to others, and that are generally not for profit. There barely anything that we do in Krishna consciousness in ISKCON is for profit. If we get profit, it's good, but generally not. So can we do it? Andrea has her hand raised.
Hare Krishna, Murli Gopal Prabhu. I wanted to thank you and just let you know that the class and overall was amazing, and I really loved how you explained what the qualities of a Brahmana are. And then later on, when Adipurusha Prabhu asked like what they can do. And it really lets you see like those things are not gender specific. They're not based on a nationality. They're not based on sexual orientations or all these other categories that we tend to kind of put people into boxes. Like all these things are so universal that and anyone, if you have the will and the desire to serve Krishna in these ways, you can do it. So I love that part of it. So thank you so much. And then I also just, before I go, I had to say, with that joke, I felt you channeling Brahmatirtha Prabhu. And and Paul said it too. He was like, oh, I was like, wouldn't Brahmatirtha Prabhu be proud? And he was like, oh yeah, 100%. So I just wanted to give you those props because it was so in his spirit. So thank you so much, Haribo.
Yeah, thank you very much. I think it's 8:00, and so the deities are coming. So sorry I wasn't able to go through all of this, but it is a long purport, and I can now you can see why I started going through it and speaking about it rather than going waiting until the end.
Thank you, Murli Gopal. We love you. We love your jokes. We love Brahmatirtha Prabhu. You're a qualified medical professional. Not bhakti profession doesn't sound good. Bhakti. You're a sincere devotee, and that's what is attractive in your class. And what you had to say was so perfect, so nice. Yeah, we need Brahmanas. We're a headless society. We need independent thinkers, independent from senses and motives, and dependent on Krishna. Right? Dependent thinkers in that sense, dependent on Krishna. Murli Gopal, hugging you, I'm picking you up. I love you. Thank you very much. And I also love everybody on this call and everybody listening to this class. Thank you very much for giving us your attention. That's our only asset, attention. Where attention goes, energy flows. And where our attention goes is always blissful and happy. It's a happy place. And it's every day. And I see Bhakti Devi's bright face. Bhakti Devi, thank you very much for turning on your camera. Love seeing the bright faces of our devotees and hearing their voices. Thank you very much, everybody. See you again tomorrow. Love you all. Hari Bol.